Hello everyone, my name is Jeff Standley from Standley Handcraft, and today we're going to be talking about the LCS 9-liter wax melter. Now I did a video on the 16-liter a little while ago, and we're finally getting into the 9-liter, and I'm basically just going to go through, show you exactly how this thing works, tell you a little bit about this one, and basically go over the unit for anybody that's purchased one on the website or is going to purchase one on the website. And of course, if you haven't seen them, I'll go ahead and show you exactly what this is right now, and you can pick these up at westsoundcandlesupply.com in the two different sizes, the 9-liter and the 16-liter. Now I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera around here in a little bit. I'm gonna heat the wax up. I've got probably about 15 pounds of wax in this. I've already recorded the video, so I'm shooting this afterward. I've still got everything right here. So I've got the melter. I put about 15 pounds of wax in there. And basically the goal with this video was to heat it up and let it sit for a little bit just to see how well it holds the temperature and what the max temperature that we can get this thing up to. Now I will say before we get into this video, this is the new upgraded version of the 9-liter wax melter. This one has upgraded thermal fuses and an upgrading heating element that was basically designed for melting wax. These originally came out, they used to make these for mulled wine, so they didn't have the best fuses, or well actually they had good fuses, but it was for mulled wine, it wasn't for melting wax. So the version that I'm going to be showing you today have been fully upgraded. So like I said, it's got the upgraded fuses to handle the heat and the constant temperatures, and it's got the upgraded heating element so that it can heat a thicker substance like wax. And I tried to get everything I could in this video, but if I did gloss over anything or miss anything in the video, definitely let me know in the comment section down below. And of course on the website, westsoundcandlesupply.com, you can sign up for the email down below, or there is an email down below that you can send me a message if you want to get a little bit more information on this one. But that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera around. We'll start putting some wax in this one, and we'll just go ahead and heat this up, and I'll show you exactly how to work with this thing. Before we start the video, I do mention in the video that you're about to see the valve that comes with this one, it ships in the open position, so that when you do get one of these, make sure that you close that valve before you start melting wax in there. I did not do that the first time I got one of these, so luckily I caught it right away. But if you load this thing up with wax and start melting it, you're gonna get wax that starts to pour out of the valve stem. So definitely close it when you pull it out of the box. All right, so getting ready to heat up and melt this wax in the LCS 9-liter wax melter. I'm gonna go ahead and I always turn this to about 50, just kind of turn it on just to let it warm up a little bit first. Let that wax start to melt, and I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of it. And you'll notice on the one that I've got, I still have the one that has Celsius on it, so 50 degrees Celsius is gonna be right around 120 to 125 degrees Fahrenheit. And the only reason I do that is just to get that wax just a little bit warm, the heating element at the bottom of it. Just want that to kind of, oh, and you can see it start to melt through right there. That's exactly what we want. And as soon as we get a nice base layer of wax, I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of it there. And I was gonna say, we've got a good layer going right there. You don't have to empty these every single time. I just happened to empty it last time filling candles. So you can start this with a full pot of wax. And again, I just put it on the lowest setting just to get it warmed up, and then we'll go ahead and add the rest of it. But if you had this thing full of wax, you could still do it the exact same way. All right, so that's looking pretty good there. We've got some 6006 here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little bit at a time. And then we'll go ahead and let that melt down a little bit more. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn the temperature up just a little bit more on this one. And I forgot to say, I'm starting this right about 316 right now. I started this a few minutes ago, so we'll go ahead and call it 311, 312, and we'll see how long it takes to fully melt about 10 pounds in there. All right, so I went ahead and loaded this up, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish putting the rest of this 10-pound block in there. And then we'll go ahead and let that melt down, and that will melt down. It's stacked very bad right now. And then I also turn this up to about 80 degrees Celsius, which is about 180 degrees Fahrenheit. And then of course, once we get that melted down, I'm gonna go ahead and turn that all the way up to, I believe this goes to 100 degrees, which is right around like 212 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we'll grab the thermometer and see how well it holds the temperature up that high. And I will say, when you're just getting one of these ship with the nozzle pointed straight out towards me, which means it's open. They have to ship that way just for packaging reasons. So when you first get this, make sure that you shut the valve. Otherwise you will get wax everywhere once you start melting. I've done that. So as soon as you get out of the box, go ahead and turn that valve closed. All right, so we are creeping up right about a half an hour. You can see that's about halfway melted now. I still have it right about 180 degrees. We might turn that up just a little bit, get it heated up a little quicker, and then we'll go ahead and wait for that to heat up. All right, so it's 420. It's about 15 pounds in there, so it's getting pretty close. I went ahead and turned it all the way up. It's maxed out now, and I just did that. Put the thermometer in a few minutes ago, and even with all that wax in there, it's hovering. We'll let that go up. Just checked it a few minutes ago and it was right at like 175. All right, so that is just a couple minutes away from being fully melted. Let's see if I can get a picture of that right there. That is hovering right around 180 degrees. I've got it maxed out now. Let that sit for a little bit. It'll probably get closer to 200 after a few minutes. And that is at about 441, so almost an hour and a half to melt down about 15 pounds of wax. And I probably could have done it a lot quicker, but I moved the temperature up in increments. I started out at 50, 60 Celsius, and then went up to about 70, 80, and then after a while I maxed it out. So I definitely could have done that quicker. So we can get that right there. It dropped down a little bit, pulling it off that. But it was hovering right around 175, 180 a few minutes ago, and I cooled it. And then once I stirred that a little bit, it cooled it down just a little bit, but it's starting to go back up right around 175, 180 there. All right, so that's pretty much it with this one. A very quick and short video on that one. I just wanted to show you exactly how these things work. So we had a lot of these pre-ordered. They should be here anytime now, hoping to ship these by the end of the week. If you do get one of these, watch the video go through. Probably one of the most important things to pay attention to is starting this thing out on a lower temperature. And that's gonna be the same for any wax melters that are out there. The Presto pots, I always started those out a little bit lower, the Digiboils that are out there, and definitely this one, start them out at a lower temperature, just so that you can start to warm up the wax in the beginning. And then of course in the video, like I said, once you get that base layer of wax, then go ahead and start bumping the temperature up. Now I definitely took my time with this one. Like I said, I bumped it up to maybe 125 degrees, just starting out to warm it up. And then I took it to probably about at 150, and then later took it to 180. Now I could have done that a lot quicker, but with so much wax in there, I wanted to just build it up slowly, basically. But of course, after using this a few times, I know that you can bump these up a little bit quicker and melt it a little bit faster. You saw that this one got to full melts right around about an hour and a half, which is about normal when you get to a melter this size. Anytime you're adding 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, large amounts of wax, it's gonna take a lot longer to melt that and get a full melt pool, and especially getting those up to full melt temperature. Now for me, the wax I use mostly with this one is 6006. I only care that this one goes up to about 180 degrees, right around there, 180, 185. And that is Fahrenheit, not Celsius. So if you're gonna be bumping this one up Celsius, it's gonna be right around like 80 degrees Celsius. Now in this video, I didn't get it clear up to 212 degrees, which is the max temperature on this one. I'm gonna do another video where I try to let this one sit for a little bit longer, getting the temperatures up to those higher temps like that, like 212 degrees. And I have a lot of people that watch this video that wanted to see if this could get up to 212. It did get up to around 190 before I shut everything off. And of course, if you let this sit for a little bit longer, I'd say probably another half hour, maybe 45 minutes, you could probably get the entire thing all the way up to 200 plus. And hopefully 212 degrees. So we'll go ahead, I'm gonna make another video where I just let this sit and try to max this thing out as far as temperature, just to see where it can go, especially for the coconut wax users out there. I know they want to keep their wax right up around 212 degrees. So we'll definitely go through, make another video, and just like I said, let this one sit and see how well it does getting up to those temperatures. Now, one thing to watch out for with these melters is when you do melt these, the heating element is in the bottom. So of course it's gonna heat up the bottom of the wax a lot quicker than then it heats up the top. That's why you're gonna wanna wait probably another half hour, 45 minutes, so that it can fully heat the wax from bottom to top. But again, that's pretty much it with this one. Just a real quick short video to show you exactly how this 9-liter wax melter works. And these are available on the website. Again, that website is westsoundcandlesupply.com. And again, if you do have any questions on these, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'll try to go through and update those, answer the questions down there. And then of course, in the follow-up video to this one, try to answer all those questions in the video as well. But that's pretty much it. I hope you liked the video. If you do, subscribe to the channel, hit the like, and we'll see you in the next video.